Welcome to Table 58. This is Marissa and Sarah. We're both sober. That's basically the only rule we have for these conversations. We do follow a program. You can find the info in the description, the about section. But that's not why we're here. This is really just a catch-up chat for us. The reason that we put them on YouTube is, speaking for me, is I find them incredibly helpful to listen back to. And so it appears to do a few other people. So that's why we published them. You can find an audio version of this, audio only. So it's a very small data to download on Telegram, which is t.me/table58. And you can contact us at pods@table58.org. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you are, we're happy that you're here. So, Marissa, it's been a while. It's been 2 weeks because
It has been.
you were away a couple of weeks ago. So quite a lot's been happening.
Yeah, and thank you to Sarah and you two last week. The Sarah duo showed up. A lot has
Yeah.
been happening, and I've seen some. We have so much been happening that thank goodness for voice notes in the mornings and check-ins. But it's been like even that trying I don't know what everyone else out there is feeling, but it seems like there's. I described it the other day as I feel like if dominoes are set up, that somebody flicked the one, and now it's like. I'm like, oh, kids. Anyway, I was thinking about talking about with that in mind, a couple patterns we've had, I think, are around like honoring self and kind of the value of the human and what that looks like. And so I didn't barely get to hear this great story that I think, if you don't mind telling us all about.
It's a little snippet rather than the great story, but yeah, it was like a brilliant observation that I didn't even notice it.
Okay, brilliant observation.
Yeah,
Great.
it was a
Even
short
better.
that I made for Hope, which is like a charity place that I volunteer at, and do a little run a little YouTube channel just to show our local kind of customers and things what new furniture we've got in store, basically, so they can see. Yeah, so I made this short, and as I was kind of filming it, I went past something with a mirror on it, and said, and this item is very beautiful, unlike the person filming. And I think I made another kind of self-effacing remark as well. And you, Marissa, wanted to see the clip just out of interest, and said, um, "Yeah, we don't talk about ourselves like that."
I didn't know. So you had shared with me that you were filming it, hoping that you were getting some nice traction from it too. So one, I was really
Yeah.
happy for you and for Hope. And because I get to hear about it from you, I feel connected to you in it. So it's important to me. Anyway, when I accidentally on purpose got to see you say that out loud.
Yeah.
And after you had told me there were like over 1,000 views, I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
no. And I sent you this like what, 30 something second clip, basically like, not only you are talking to yourself that way, but now everybody else is like validating talking to themselves this way. And I'm like, God,
Yeah.
it was interesting.
Which was for me was a brilliant. It landed that little life lesson has been sent to me in various different ways, and my sponsor says very regularly, that's pride in reverse. That's pride in reverse. Whenever we kind of do ourselves down, put ourselves down, right? That's pride in reverse. Because I've kind of heard that a lot, but didn't really I didn't get it completely until then. And yeah, and what Marissa said, what you said, was that's the way that everybody else is. Yeah, that everybody's hearing you speak like that about yourself, and it kind of validating that it's okay for them to speak that way about themselves too. And yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. If we say no, 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 it's not. You know, if somebody gives us a compliment or says makes a positive remark about us and we don't take it, it is kind of impolite and disrespectful to that person. But it's also kind of giving out the thing that um, this is how we can operate. You know, we are validating that, and it's not the we're um, we're created gifts with created gifts. That's why created gifts, not gifts.
But is it
We're
exactly?
not gifts.
But I think it's great when the clicking happens. It's like that's what we stack up days to get to, and suddenly the click happened. It doesn't. I think about which is this is a tangent, I guess, but how many times it's happened where I'm like, somebody will understand. Before I got to AA, probably, and did quite a few years of the steps, quite a few. Two. That's not even a few yet. But that it just kind of click in for me. That the day stacking is do when people said things like it's what you do between the claps or what you do when no one's looking or when no one's paying attention, but that what that's when I've been really realizing that the all well not realizing that's when the breakthrough happens when I keep doing those things in between the claps. It's because that's the easiest time to not do the thing, or when no one's watching, that's the easiest time not to do the thing. And to get resentful that you have to do it alone. Oh, that's a trick. Don't let that happen because that will happen. But this thing about like honoring, I was trying to, when I'm sitting here looking for my phone, was to pull up exactly what I had asked you. Because this is what I mean, I like that. Okay, patterns. We talk about patterns, and so it's fun with you and I how we help each other find them. And just in life, if everybody out there, like it's really neat if you just start looking around for numbers and how they pattern, or different topics that are coming up, or life lessons that God is teaching us, or spirit, or whatever your connecting point is. But okay, here's how it goes. Honoring others, which I got this. The reason I sent you that is because this thing dropped in for me about honoring others, which has been on my mind quite a bit lately. And then I was like, oh shit, maybe that's the same thing as like ritual, which got me to grief processing. And I'm like, oh, I think these may be interchangeable actually. And and I think it would help us all maybe well, I understood it differently once I was able to look at it from those different layers. So uh and how this plays into me. I mean, right now I've been in a place, I said the domino, I'll just stick to the same metaphor. It's working for me. Whoa! You really made a really hard domino thing. Nice job. I didn't realize I was going to be the one on the energetic twist and turn that you put it on. And then uh, what I realized is that piece came to a culmination when I got a phone call 2 days ago that someone's passed away that was some that was very, very, very important to me in my life. I had a love for this person and we had a relationship, and it was an important one to me. And it also was very much tied to addiction, and it also was very volatile, and it also like it was a relationship that I feel is indescribable unless you're willing to kind of reach the place where you see the value, what I'm getting at here, of people and humanity. I think, and the reason that that question dinged is because I was sharing it with someone and their response was, I guess I just can't understand how you, to me, I can't understand how it would even matter to you that somebody that it didn't work with, that you even wanted to grieve. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Really interesting. Because I every whether any relationship in my life has worked or not, and as in relation to a love. I've had one husband, but everything else, and there haven't been a lot, but I've had relationships that have been longer since. They've all been valuable. And the way that I think today, that I was born thinking this way from a spiritual based lens, that we're all just souls. It is a stage of characters in the theaters. AA brought me to the place where the steps actually tell me that, too, which is kind of neat. And then I can learn to live with this own God of my own understanding. So this question got this response, and it got me thinking about something that frequently has come up for me and related to my mother, who remarried after my stepfather Gary died, whose annual death date is approaching, and he, I do believe, was a spirit sent for protection in my life and just teaching of that what I was born here believing to be true actually is true, that other people notice it too, even though I was in a community where nobody else could really honor it. And so he did, gently and quietly. So I have been just sitting here thinking about when we don't have opportunity, the value of the relationship, always. Let me just go right back to there instead of flying. And why we honor, even like if somebody happens to, we've had ICE in our community, and or we work in a community, let me stay focused here, of addicts and of we are alcoholics. People disappear, and remembering the value of that person. I've been watching how in this it can be so easy when someone's gone, or if something shifts in a relationship with somebody that you cared about deeply. It's like our society taught us, well, now I'm supposed to just be angry with them, frustrated with them, not like them, pissed off they did this to me, all of that stuff. Like we do that. And the thing is, I think we've taught it as a culture because I did not stay in a marriage that I was in. We both tried very hard, but what we did next is try to be good parents to our daughter and set our it wasn't working. It was causing disruption in everybody's life around us. So we were just grown-ups about it and realized that the next step was that. It wasn't that easy, but really, it was when we just kept doing the thing because we remembered who we were through the process and that nobody's bailing on anybody. Nobody's here to hurt anybody. We're just shifting in this way that we're doing stuff. And it took a ton of courage. And this relationship that I had, like, this is what I'm going back to. You have to understand it to explain it. So I want to try to explain it for a second because somebody's going to understand it. I got reconnected through a text of the second very valuable woman to him and the mother of his children. And I had known her because our relationships had over. I didn't know her, but I knew who she was. They talked regularly, even when the two of us were together. And I thought it was really special. It was also very difficult for me because I felt like I was being betrayed because there wasn't communication about it. I've already just explained, I understand intermixed families. I'm there for it. I've lived it. I'm a model of how I think it, and watching other people do it, I just applaud because it's very difficult to do. And people quickly are like, want to critique, want to think that you're fucking somewhere, want to think that you're doing all these things. Going back to my point, we were taught to see, oh, something different must be then wrong. And so this relationship was so interesting because she had asked me when she reached out to tell me, she goes, the reason I'm letting you know is because I know that he loved you. He was an addict. He lived in public housing. He never had a car. He biked everywhere. He knew that he couldn't, he tried. He had 7 traumatic brain injuries. He also was very connected to Reiki. Like he somehow was connected to this woman that I worked with at a previous institution and who I guess needed to be reconnected to and ended up being the one cleaning her lawn, like, or taking care of her, not cleaning, sorry, like, being part of maintenance and things. And just they had a relationship that became really special too. He shared a lot with her. Like he communicated in ways that, and as a man too, and as in ways that I just haven't had a chance to experience very often. But he was so misunderstood because he was so bright. I mean, really, he went through a battery of exams. Like they would, so that was part of his, so drugs and alcohol could, he didn't have to prove anything to anybody, and he never wanted to prove anything to anybody, but he had all, but so he learned to live in the way that he could live his best way, and it didn't look bad. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. He kind of became the community guy that he was blowing through on his bike all the time. You know, he wanted safety for everybody. He would never take anything from anybody. And like, he just wouldn't. And our time together was special. It was the lake and grasshoppers and reading and talking about like caring for others and how you do it differently and like dreams that you have that like I would listen to all of his dreams that not know watching that he couldn't do it. There wasn't going to ever be a way for him to do that. And one time he said to me, he's like, watch, I can do this. Like, I can't tell you how many times. And it wasn't just not drinking, it was like achieve the things because he had been able to. It's just your whole life when drugs and alcohol are there and you've gotten some brain injuries with not the right feedback in a family who didn't really know what to do with it. And so you just didn't really get the help. So that's what the other dichotomy is. His family's in this whole other space, and he just lived almost as elegantly as them, just in his public housing. And it was kind of it was notable. I don't know. And he died kind of just asleep. It was great. And then I got the honor of hearing about it. But the reflection from the people got me to specifically around like I guess I just can't, it was hard. I told you it was also just very chaotic. I mean, some of the most jarring moments of my recovery occurred with him, but I do believe they all had to occur because I hurt so many people along the way in my 10 years. And there's just until I'm able to see it in this through another person's lens in life, through my experience with another person, it's really hard to kind of heal it all. And as hard as it is to see these things, and to understand why I've been planted in certain places or what's been in front of me in my employment or in my personal life, like I'm starting to really see it. Like I'm at this other layer of healing where God is helping me see like even deeper of who I really am, of where the pain, like touching it in a way that doesn't have to feel afraid anymore. Like I really am seeing more and more that until I'm able to do it, I can't really share it. I can embrace you in it, but I can really meet you because I can see now when I have the experience that it's shared versus when I don't have the experience that's shared and how it impacts others and me right now because I've been kind of able to learn this. And the only way to do it is the brilliance of AA, one day at a time, staying in the routine. So the key of the routine, though, I believe, is this piece, this click, and this value of people. Like to really just be so like, oh, well, if it was a shitty relationship, I don't know why you'd honor it. I mean, first of all, what is a shitty relationship? Why are we even really saying that? I mean, I think what I did is I didn't leave early enough. That's what we talked about. Or we didn't shift and know how to do constructive dialogue together. But that was both of ours responsibility. And, I think it's difficult to go that deep in understanding the why it's important to look at the value of a person, but I feel like we're sorely missing seeing like the Sarah that I know that I know. So when you're off, my response, the only response is, are you okay? Not, what the fuck is wrong with you? Were you trying to come at me sideways like that? Really? Or twist it. There's so much twisting. And the thing is, I don't think it's on purpose. I think that's the brilliance of the step work. And the key piece about the inventory that I do as I go is that I share it with another person. So I'm not alone looking at where my ego is being hit, where my self-esteem is being hit. I have help because anything I do in isolation, anything is an absolute. I know it, Patty, but that I do in isolation, it's not anything. So that's brilliant. I have to being thoughtful about which things I choose to do in isolation versus the things I choose to do in partnership are really important. And when it comes to looking at where I am actually creating harm when I really don't think I am, and seeing that my pattern doesn't mean I'm that kind of person. Like that's just who I am. I don't think so. I think maybe you just haven't had a chance to practice it any other way. Because I can see that we can evolve. And my evolution, this is the other thing I've been seeing, this darkness and light. And I don't know, like I've been able to in this seeing that this process, this person like took care of me while I was going through that my backs are like, nobody knows this. Nobody does. My family thinks because I couldn't talk about it, about how it's because nobody would understand. What are you doing with this goofball? You're this. You're all of that. Where's your worth? What's wrong with you? I'm like, I'm on a soul. I'm on a like spiritual healing with souls. I kind of feel like that's what, okay, this is not what we're talking about. That's weird. That's a whole nother thing. I'm starting to kind of feel like if I'm looking at patterns, this is like what we do together. And maybe this is like what's up. But we remembering our value, because otherwise, like, how do you sit aside? Like I'm resentful. So the brilliance of that, we drop our resentments right away. I mean, I do not want to rob myself of knowing how important you are, because the minute I do that, I'm off. There's people everywhere. Then I'm not building anything anywhere with anyone. I'm just flitting around. And that's just the thing that's just fine to do. I'm stating just a different, I'm just making, I'm just talking about, I can do that. That's my work, you know? But it's not temporary. I'm building relationships there. And I'm in a community that I'm showing up to. So, but this, like this, the valuing of the person that just because the way, here's the thing I'm noticing, the way that I feel, I'm almost like, uh, my sponsor kicked open this stuff we're reading the Untethered Soul, Michael A. Singer, and it is just like crack stuff open. And anyway, I mean, I'm gonna go to this thing today. I've been sitting, so I guess what I'll say, I'm just thinking about how we can honor, because I mean, I have another close friend who just, I only knew him 3 months, but I just thought that this disease just happens to be popping up right now. And in ways around me, in the way my world works, that have me thinking about what do I need to learn from this? And I was like, that's I think what's coming out of it. Like that, I don't want. I think there's. I don't want us to lose sight of the value that we all bring and how important we all are. And if the opportunity we have to just try harder, step six, to be willing to shift. Shifting meaning I want to give a damn about you more than I give a damn about myself. And I want to also know that I give a damn about myself more than I give a damn about you, and that we both get that interchange. And we just the expectation like of it's my responsibility to not put my emotions and reactions in that moment on anybody else's table. Mostly I'm stable, but I know and feel completely aligned with where I am. Not mostly. There are wonderful times when I really feel aligned, and I know that that's great. But when I'm not, like this is when it's just like I don't want to show myself. And that's why this reminder of the value and the worth. Like I've been terrified to go to this thing today at 3 because the community that I was in with him was public living community. Like it's the grittiest of the gritty, and it's what I know too. I grew up in that. They're my friends too. And I am the outcast, and I'm the white one, and I'm gonna show up. And I'm really like knowing that I just have it's a celebration of life that everyone's publicly invited to, and that I'm I don't, it's like this big chunk of my, it's not just like the relationship, it was my relationship with alcohol and watching somebody championing me more than them, and knowing that we couldn't go on because as much as the love existed, that is his life. He couldn't provide for me even. He wouldn't have been able to. He wanted to be able to do those things. And so, but like that, so having those talks even with somebody, like, how capable you are, but capable in this kind of ether world that like the only place you can honor it sort of is you yourself and God. Like sort of honor it and begin and him and I could, you know that I can live in kooky land, you know? You know that like always in this, I don't mean it's kooky land. I love it. Like, but I can't do it all day, every day, you know? Anyway, I just have been really just wanting us to value one another, like no matter of other people's choices and what their paths are in life, they're still valuable people. Or how my life was impacted by it, it's still my responsibility to recognize the gift in it. And that's what I think gratitude lists are just brilliant if you stack them up, because this stuff, when the pain hits and the death hits, that's the time that people are like, I wish I would have. I da da da. Why didn't I? Like you can see the grief in my face. I just looked at myself. Whoa. I've been crying for like 2 days straight, and it's been great. Um, but that's what I've been thinking about.
Yeah, so first of all, it like the last point, gratitude list sounds such a simple thing, but it does it's easy to miss things when they're all right. It's like you don't like I only notice my body when it's something's wrong, and it's not that often that I'm kind of grateful that I've got 10 fingers, 10 toes, and I can see. Like I just saw Mr. Potte at the gate just before coming in to do
Good.
this, and his eyesight's no better. He's still walking down the lane, but yeah, he can barely see now. And just to be able to, have sight is a miracle, absolute miracle. Um, so the thing about, when you mentioned talking about honouring the value of relationships, and you said because sometimes we don't do that. We don't think about that until somebody dies, until somebody's gone. And I just uh, told you this morning about a dream that I'd had about somebody who was really special to me in my kind of adolescence and early 20s, who I've just lost. I've just I haven't just about a year ago lost contact with, and I could always have written a letter. For she lived in the same house for how old am I? So for at least 40 years lived in the same house, and
Oh,
she just came across my mind. I've been promising to write a letter for years. Um, and I just thought, yeah, I'll write a letter and let her know my address and everything in France and things. And um, looked up her address because I was trying to get her phone number. That's it, because my phone was nicked and all my contacts and things. So I was trying to find her phone number so that I could WhatsApp a message. And so anyway, that went into some. So I'd lost a. I'd got a landline number and blah blah blah. So looked up her address. And found that the house, I found it on Zoopla or somewhere, and it was for sale, and the sale had gone through. And when I called that, I tried to put from memory, eventually got the landline number, and it was like a deadline. So I've
that's
lost
a fun.
my ability, yeah, to be able to be able to contact this person. Now I could have done that at any point, over the last 20 years or something, written a letter, and it's just been taken out of my control now. So, and that's a relationship that I do value, that I really, really value. Um, and it's gone, and now I kind of I've got that kind of, it's not a bereavement as such, but it's an in God's hands thing. I did feel that way
Yeah.
with my auntie, whose funeral I went to a couple of weeks back. that yeah, when things aren't there anymore is when we tend to value them, and being able to value things. I definitely value the relationships that I have today. The few, and I mean the reason that I go to Hope, um, uh, one day a week usually, and I've been going twice, 2 days a week while I've not been working on the chimneys, is to be with the people there. You know, there's a small team, and that's why I go. Is just to have that little bit of time with people that I really am growing to love. And there's some and love grows very quickly when you work alongside somebody. You know, Maggie said to me once, if when I was bemoaning how much stuff I have to do here, she said, "Oh, if Jesus was there, he'd be helping you pull that tree stump out. You know, he'd be working with you." And when we work alongside each other, whether it's repairing a roof or whether it's living, you know, spiritually day to day, helping each other just by being there and listening sometimes, and just by, you know, it's what meetings are all about, things, the fellowship. But when we have somebody who is willing to give us time, you know, there's that is working. It's working on spiritual progress, and there is a different kind of love that's shared when you shoulder to shoulder with somebody doing some work. You know, yeah. There was yeah. This might be nice, unless you've got what was the Mark Nepo back a little bit where it talks about love
Which one is this from?
back a couple of days.
Oh, he had a really good one.
Oh,
Our strength is it
that's a pretty cat. Um, the one where it's talking about how we relate to each other. Right, this is after. Um,
Yeah, let's talk about this. This is good.
yeah, it's the one from May the 20th, breaking patterns.
Okay.
So I'll read it out.
May?
Yeah, May.
March is stirring the water. May is coming up.
May. Look at that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you sent me May the 20th. Right, this is May the 20th. That was supposed to be right. It's called Breaking
Oh,
Patterns.
wow. That is interesting.
Yeah, page 166. It's called Breaking Patterns. It's Mark Nepo, page 166 for May the 20th. The quote
What
is,
page? This is great. Okay, keep
if
going.
I
Sorry.
if I contradict myself, I contradict myself. I contain multitudes. Walt Whitman. Also the title of a Dylan song. I contain multitudes. And the reading is, we create patterns that others depend on. Then the last thing we ever imagined happens. We grow and change, and then to stay vital, we must break the patterns we created. There is no blame or fault in this. It's commonplace in nature. Watch the ocean and the shore do their dance of build up and crumble, and you'll see this happen daily. We nowhere close to the threshold when we hear someone say, "You are not yourself. That was out of character for you." What is difficult at this juncture is to resist either complying with how others see us or withholding who we really are. The challenge, which I don't do well but stay committed to, is to say to those we love, "I am more than I have shown you, and more than you are willing to see. Let's work our love and know each other more fully." And the meditation is, as you move through your interactions today, notice whether you're complying with how others see you or withholding who you are. After each interaction, simply breathe once or twice and return to the fullness of who you are. So, the thing kind of coming up for me, I've just listened to, I've listened the first time through to an audio book of my favourite podcaster, and the book's called How to Slay a Wizard, and it's bloody brilliant. But it starts off,
Yeah, kids.
yeah, excellent. It's his first book as well, and
How
it's
to Slay a Wizard?
yeah,
What is this about?
brilliant. It's on Audible. Get and find it if you. It's only like
I can't wait.
5.5 hours, but yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. But it starts and ends with um, "You are enough. You are enough," and that we've talked about lies before. Yeah, that's a lie, and he decided that the biggest lie upon which all the others depend on which all the others depend, is "I am not enough."
Mhm.
A bit like how we treat fear as being at the a root of everything, really, of all. So yeah, that's my current mantra is "I am enough. I am enough. I'm
I
enough."
got so happy when you told me that. I was. I tell people this, it was like gifted to me too, but early in my sobriety practice, because I was having a hard time figuring out how to meditate. I don't care who you are out there, just try it. The one thing, if I just kept trying, things don't make sense. But and the less I tried to care if they make sense, and the more I realized that it doesn't matter if it makes sense, I had to reprogram my mind. I was gifted things to reprogram with, then I had to choose to do it. And instead of when I was forgetting or not knowing what to do, it's not working, just then set it aside, recognize that I gave it attention. The more I kind of just let it drift in and get attention, even if I forgot in the scheduled times, it started to get better. That's part of lowering the bar, Sarah.
Yeah,
Which I love if you're new to this podcast. When Sarah and I started talking, one of the first things that came up in like trying to grasp a handle of, right, is lowering the bar. Literally, you were like,
yeah,
dude, I don't know what the fuck that even means. Like, you were like zero context. It was great. I loved it. You're like, what is that?
yeah. Well,
Really?
yeah, and I
You're
think
like, what the
about
fuck
that
does that
every day now.
even mean?
Yeah, think about it every day. It's all that's it's
I
all.
got it though. I thought it was brilliant. I was like, no kidding, right? Just like when someone says you can have a God of your own understanding, it's like,
Yeah,
oh, what is that? What is that?
yeah,
So then, like, that's why this freedom of thought is really okay. Like, okay, let me just see if I can figure it out, rather than this patterned response of this is just who I am. What if your response instead was, huh, I'd never tried it that way before, ever. So somebody once would said, if you last week related to another thing at work, what would it look like if you could have it? And I was like, oh, I knew this question was coming. And I was thinking about that in my own personal life too. Like, what would it look like if I could have it? And if I could answer that question on a dime. And I'm like, for whatever reason, what keeps coming into my head is something related to teaching and education, but almost like the book 1984. Except that megaphone shit would be the right shit. Like, and you teach people from the beginning
yeah,
the other response. Like, if you never learn to respond saying, I'm not like that. I mean, that's not our goal. We're all unique souls. We are not here to compete. Not one part of this lifetime is competing, which leads to jealousy, which leads to, and actually, that's my work. So, and if I was not ever taught that from the beginning, and that's when I see people like some people have an easier time with it because they didn't learn it from the beginning. So I'm able to even I can witness the growth of my own daughter through my actual work that she only received through the way I shifted in our relationship. That's powerful. That is really fucking powerful when you're doing good thing like when you're helping because we're in need of some help. I don't think I should be the I think everyone needs it. We're in need of help. And people don't want to lose sight. I'm working with students every day at a university who I hear young people saying, I don't want to start to become complacent or think that caring doesn't matter or that elders don't matter or that community doesn't matter. But wow, we're surely getting what glitched in doing what's right. It's so strange. Just to do the right thing, it's so interrupted by wrong. Instead of the people that don't really know how to, and then saying, oh, okay, I need some help with discussion and dialogue, because it doesn't ever have to be conflict. It doesn't ever have to be. But I'm going back saying it's my responsibility. That only lies in me and my willingness to really say I play a part. That's social justice at its core, really. Like I'm willing to do the work required to be an excellent member of this community, which means like in the dorm somewhere I live, people really want to smoke weed in the dorms. Well, you know what? I'm not here to tell you if you can or you can't, but maybe if you valued the community, it's Minnesota. You're right. You can do what you want, but just not here. Go ahead, go wherever, but just not here. And I'm thinking about, because this is popping up kind of regularly now, and I'm like, how do we talk about this and just not like, nah. That's not the goal. Just what's missing and that we feel like we actually give a damn enough to like not really think it's too big of a deal. That if I'm going to choose to do something that's within that, just stick to the parameters of we're not asking that much of you. We're not. By just saying don't smoke weed in the dorms. Okay. And you can't drink if you're under 21. I mean, that's everybody. We know this. So it's part of growth, it's part of life. Anyway, I'm just like, what if so if I could have anything I want, what would it be? Okay, here's your little island. Here's your startup. You get to pick your teachers. We'll start building the stuff and then get your curriculum together. And we're going to start living a community of people that's going to demonstrate what this looks like. And like, I do want to really see, like, if harm was never embedded from the beginning, would harm flourish? Would we all of a sudden become, if we stayed in our practices, could we learn how to have fun and be spiritually connected at the same time? So, because fun is where we all get confused, real confused. I thought shit was fun, man, when I was destroying life around me. So I don't know. This is where my mind is wandering a lot, like all around this stuff.
Yeah,
You want to come live on the island?
yeah.
What would you do if you could have anything you wanted and do something with it? What would, like today, if someone said, what would you want to make a to I don't know, what is it? No, not even make a difference. What is it right now that you would want to invest your time in if there was nothing prohibiting you?
It'd have to be a billboard campaign, I think. Yeah.
To promote the island with a new education
If
system,
there's if
a
there's
community
no
system? Just
yeah, if
kidding.
there's
Just kidding.
no limit, it'd have to
Ooh.
be a global billboard campaign. And it's a bit like the speakers. But at the end, end of the day, uh it is us. It's it's us walking through the day and according to our values, and not needing other people to change for, you know, not requiring other people to change. I don't know, because I'm kind of in a really blessed situation at the minute where I can have pretty much no interaction with the outside world, and from this perspective, like no telly, no social media, very very limited social media, because I do have to go on it from time to time, but uh, it's it's very, even just driving into town, or driving to a city is a big culture shock. Watching anything, if somebody sends me a clip of something that's on the telly, just watching the telly is really kind of like slaps me in the face. It's just uh, yeah, it's just my perspective. But yeah, I'm blessed with like a really kind of gregarious. Is that the word? Gregarious, gregarious, a very very comfortable
Gregarious.
in, yeah. So kind of, and I think that's what I'm here for at the minute. I think that's this is my time to be able to do that. So uh, I will do it until further instructions are issued to me. But
By your spirit team.
yeah, yeah,
You know, that's what I'm talking about, those dominoes. It's so interesting. When you just stay in the day, the instruction will come when it's time. Okay, oh, you know how I was telling you in that meditation I had a couple days ago that I was on the train?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, and so to catch everybody else up, just briefly, so that was metaphorically for me, like to kind of this re what I was being asked to just pay attention to is the journey's on. We've got it. You're in a transitory stage, and just let us take care of the movement piece. And for now, just stay in your just like just get steady. So then, yesterday I've been in because this death. I'm in the process of trying to connect to something, not even trying on purpose, just letting things come because, okay, so here's what's coming up. The image shifted now. It's like a prairie and a plane. It's not a train anymore, but I'm there and it's not moving. What I'm saying, it's not, it's just, but it's peaceful and it's nice and it's no harm and nothing's around. It's just like grass fields kind of. Uh, but in this processing, what I'm realizing is like relationships in my life because they've been I just need to practice being in them, even like just going to this AA meeting yesterday that I was going to do. I just need to keep stacking up days. There's no other way to do it. You just keep stacking up days and then let the rest shed. But I'm at the stage where I'm past, like, I'm ready to kind of drop that feeling that it's like uncomfortable to do. Like when you talked about you look forward to going, I have, because it's community, like I have all that where I work. I really have a great people really, really enjoy me there and what I do. And there are it's the same thing I'm talking about, this heightened good and the heightened bad. And it is at a level that I just haven't visited in quite some time. And to this, which is really not that fucking big. This is where I'm kind of just finding this experience interesting, how much I can feel all of it. And that is actually really important for me because I spend so much time. I've been talking to you about the conveyor belts and feeling like I'm engaging with people like you're a machine, not a human. Because I feel like when I express the way I feel about you and your value to you, okay, I'm terrified you're gonna think I crossed a boundary. I might be hitting, I might this, I might that. Like people, so then do I have to put like a sign at first that says this is not anything other than I just want to share it? And then I'm like, no, 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 people will get it. And then I'm like, I can't even receive. Like yesterday, I had an opportunity to see somebody who was like, do you need a hug? And I knew it. This is kind of a healing person. and kids were around and stuff. And I was like, because they heard about the death and everything, and it was just like, and I'm like, yeah, but I just it is alarming. It's not alarming. It's very intriguing watching how uncomfortable I am, not because of the person. It's me. And I'm watching myself slowly learn how to fall into it instead of judging myself or just doing the thing to do the thing, to do the thing, to go to the thing that
Yeah.
they about the. So that I'm seeing that that's not as dangerous as I think anything is, that I'm not the person that everybody else talks about. I know that, but all these things that are fed to me there that are from my rearing ages. I was groomed. It wasn't too great. And it was so great. Like it's so fucking weird. So, but it's so wonderful being able to do this without. Okay, so even I hit on like I'm getting into so being able to touch on the feelings that they actually were when I was in them and not just touch on them, feel it, and then say to myself, I'm safe. I'm safe. It's giving me like it's expanding what I'm able to see. And it's also really cool to be like, oh wow, this is taking a very long time. And like going back to what I said in the beginning, as long as I've just kept doing the things, and then I'm like, oh wow, life really is a trudge. It is. Oh wow, if we can figure out ways to like really just normalize, none of this is bad. It's actually exciting. It is. It is. Like doing things together, being able to do big things together, like, having them happen around us means we're capable. I think so. It either means I really am staying in a place I need to get out of, or I'm really capable. Same thing, but discernment. So having it. So I guess that dominoes, these like they're really going in all sorts of apartment building spots that I've explained myself as that I feel. They're like dropping in all sorts of places. And I'm like, wow, all the things to study and learn now. Like, what's next? I can't. And then this is when you're coming super handy as my friend because you like have a way of computing everything that I say and you store shit. And then you're like, and then you know it and pull it out. And I'm like, yes. I've been asking for that actually. I've been praying for somebody that just wants to listen to what I have to say for a really long time so that they can start to help me translate my language. And I've been telling you about was there.
It's all right, don't worry.
Well, just so we know
I'll
though,
do it.
what time is it? It's 9:13. Ha ha ha. Anyway, she told me, she's like, you speak a different language. As I said to her, we kind of speak similar language. She goes, yes, we do. And she goes, I've noticed yours. And she said, you speak that different language too. And people are starting to try to understand and learn it. I'm like, I do. I'm like, I don't know. I said, Sarah, I started to talk to her about you. And Kay's figured it out. So the other day she started cracking up because I finally paused and I was like, because I was trying not to talk the way I talk, which is all over the place. You have to stay with the whole story. But it connects if you stay with it. And if you know who I am and it builds up, I think you start but anyway, so you've come in as my helper. I'm so grateful.
Yeah. Index. Yeah.
Translator to this weirdo. Ooh. Okay. On that note, it's time to get out of here, I
It
think.
is because we've got something else coming up, and I need to download this file before that starts.
Oh, good. And I need to get in my car. I'm going to family breakfast with my 91-year-old grandmother and brother, and we do
Yeah,
this
you are.
every third Saturday of the month. And Sarah reminds me because I forget that it's that Saturday.
I only remembered that you said it was kind of mid. It's usually the midpoint of the month, which I believe it kind of like. But yeah, so yeah, so it kind of is.
Oh, I'm going to get to drive my new vehicle.
Yeah.
I forgot. I've been in so much stuff that I really it did dawn on me yesterday. I'm like, you're not. I haven't really even just, it's not that I'm not grateful. It's not. It's not. I am really stifled in my feelings, right? They're quite stifled. Like, not, is that the word? It's like I have a little. dampening on them or something. Anyway, so this I feel excited about, and the sun is out, and I could cry over the joy I
Yeah,
feel right now. To tell you the truth, I'm very grateful that I'm really looking forward to this, and I just noticed
yeah,
there
you've
is
got
a guy.
sun. You've got sun
Whew.
to go and enjoy.
Okay, I
Hey,
am so grateful for this. Is it finger time?
yeah, let me just get ready.
Oh yeah, don't leave
I
us on
forgot
the
how
meeting.
to turn it off. There we go. Right, ready?
Okay.
Bye.